Hi, I'm John of the Budget Advisory Group. We're representing the interest of you, our fellow owners, during the development of the 2023 HOA budget.
Hi, I'm Mary Alice. In this video, we'll share what we have learned about our HOA budget and our community's build-out period. We will discuss the role of the Budget Advisory Group, how we're approaching the 2023 budget, and we'll conclude by reviewing the budget calendar. William will share with you the information we've put together.
Thanks, Mary Alice. To make sure we're all speaking the same language, let's start by defining some terminology. A homeowners association, or HOA, is an organization in a condominium or other planned housing community that makes and enforces rules about the appearance and maintenance of properties, and that maintains common areas with money from homeowners' fees. There are legal requirements for an HOA to be formed where common areas exist, and to pay for and maintain street lighting, retention ponds, stormwater drains, etc. The main reason for creating a homeowners association is to maintain communal areas and enforce rules and regulations to keep the overall community looking nice and cohesive. Homes in HOA communities typically enjoy higher and more stable property values. The biggest advantage of a homeowners association is the shared common areas within the community. Many associations have pools, clubhouses, sports courts, and other fun amenities that one homeowner could not afford on their own. Luckily, anyone living in the community can take advantage of these amenities. Let's look next at our HOA income sources. In exchange for joining our community, homeowners must pay HOA monthly fees. The HOA uses these fees to pay for the upkeep and maintenance of shared common areas and facilities. It also uses the money to pay for common utilities, such as garbage, water and sewer, and electricity. The fees also cover other expenses, such as insurance, HOA management fees, and reserve contributions. For most HOA communities, monthly fees are the primary income source. Since our community is still in the development or build-out period, we have a second source of income, capital contributions. Each initial buyer of a new home from Taylor Morrison is charged a one-time $4,800 capital contribution at closing. We understand there's some confusion about the purpose of the capital contribution. The purpose of this capital contribution is to help cover the annual operating expenses of the HOA during the years that new homes are still being built, what we refer to as the build-out period. The capital contributions will end when the last new home is sold. In other words, the purpose of the capital contribution is to supplement monthly fees while the community grows. Both the monthly fees and capital contributions go into the same operating account to pay for our HOA operating expenses. Here are two other terms to be aware of. Declarant contributions, or contributions into the operating account from the developers in the early years of our HOA, of $201,165. Those contributions are finished. Reserve funds, when homeowners pay their association fees, a percentage of that amount goes to the HOA's reserve fund. Reserve funds are like a savings account. They pay for large-scale maintenance expenses such as roof replacements and pavement resurfacing. Now that we've defined some terminology, let's review the budget process and the Budget Advisory Group's role. Each year, the proposed HOA budget is developed by NOVA, our association management company. Dawn Wood, our HOA manager, and the NOVA team gather expense information from our vendors to develop the proposed budget. In prior years, the proposed budget would be developed in September. The budget is reviewed by the HOA board, who determines the final budget to present to the homeowners for ratification. This year, to facilitate the Budget Advisory Group's involvement in the review process, NOVA completed the preliminary budget in July, and now our heavy lifting has begun. Our role is to take the proposed 2023 budget and review, analyze, question, discuss, debate, and recommend. We like to say our role is to review and recommend. Even before seeing the preliminary budget, we've identified 4 challenges that will impact the 2023 budget. First, projecting expenses for the villages when it's not even finished. The exact completion date is unknown, and there is no prior year's expense history for guidance. It is also a challenge to get vendor bids for services on a facility that is not built. Second, the 6 months pause in new home construction and the slow restart of home construction. Third, the current inflation rate is the highest in 40 years. Not having a crystal ball, projecting expenses 6 to 18 months from now is difficult to say the least. Fourth, the small percentage of homes built to date during our build-out period is responsible for supporting virtually all of Oak Tree's planned amenities. I'll explain our community's build-out period next. The total number of homes planned to be built for our community is 814. The current number of homes built and paying HOA fees is 254. We expect a few more homes to be built in 2022, so let's assume we have 260 homes by the start of 2023. That equals a 32% community build-out. Taylor Morrison's goal is to build 60 new homes per year. We prefer to take a conservative approach and estimate an average of 50 homes per year. So our build-out period would look like this. As you can see from the bar chart, over on the left-hand side, you can see the number of homes at the beginning of 2023, and if we add 50 each year, it would take 11 years until the community is completely built out. I have good news and bad news. The good news is, with the completion of the villages in 2023, we will have virtually 100% of our community's amenities. The bad news is, with the completion of the villages in 2023, we will have 100% of our community's amenities completed, but only 32% of the homes built to pay HOA fees to cover the expenses of maintaining our amenities. Let's look at an example of the impact of this over the build-out period, using a hypothetical $814 expense. When we have 814 homes built, each homeowner's share of the $814 expense would be $1. In 2023, each homeowner's share of the $814 is $3.13. The dollar amount of each homeowner's share decreases each year as more homes are built, since there are more homeowners to cover the expense. The only solution for this fourth challenge is for Taylor Morrison to build and sell more homes as fast as possible. It is in our own self-interest as Oak Tree homeowners. We know the questions you're all thinking about. Are the monthly HOA fees going to have to increase for 2023? And if so, by how much? We wish we could answer those questions now. But with the 4 challenges putting increasing pressure on the monthly HOA fees, we need to complete our discussions with the HOA board regarding reasonable and fiscally conservative approaches to income and expenses for 2023. The Budget Advisory Group has agreed on how we will approach the 2023 budget. We are taking a fiscally conservative approach to the budget, and here are the reasons why. First, the fiscal health and strength of our Oak Tree HOA can have a positive or negative effect on the value of our homes. A well-funded HOA is an asset. An underfunded HOA is a liability. We want our HOA to be well-funded, so it is a positive asset. The good news is, our operating account as of June 30th, 2022 was $990,200. $214.65. That is a good thing. That can help us get through the build-out period. Now, our charge is the 2023 budget, but we'd be short-sighted if we didn't consider the remaining build-out period. We are keeping in mind the expense burden per home during the build-out period as we review and make recommendations on the 2023 budget to the board. Second, in the last several years, the whole world has faced major uncertainties and challenges. For many of us, the most in our lifetimes. And we are still facing these and additional uncertainties and challenges in the near future. The list is long, but a few are COVID, supply chain issues, labor shortages, work stoppages, war, political division, inflation, and potential recession. Lastly, with the 4 HOA budget challenges we identified, it was already our sentiment, but especially with the current global uncertainties, we are taking a fiscally conservative approach to the 2023 HOA budget. We are struggling to balance reasonable expenses with reasonable income projections. Next, we want to communicate our calendar over the next 4 months, so you know what to expect and when to expect it. We are separating our communication into 2 types: us, delivering information to you, and you providing feedback and input to us. Let's start with us delivering information to you. Mid-October, the budget will be released. One of the first recommendations we made to the HOA board was to release the budget earlier to give you more time to review it before the ratification meeting. Along with the written budget from the HOA board, we will provide a video and written review of the budget by the Budget Advisory Group. November 16th at 4 p.m. is the HOA budget ratification meeting. In addition, we will be contributing articles to the next 2 issues of the Ovation Nation newsletter. Next, you providing feedback and input to us. Mid-August through mid-November, we're providing 2 options for your feedback and input. Written input can be provided using the request area on the HOA portal. We'd appreciate your written input and we'll take it into consideration, but we will not be able to respond to it. So if you have questions, use our second input option. Office hours will be held at the pavilion on various dates and times to allow you to meet with us in person and give your feedback. Our first office hours are scheduled for September 7th from 3 to 4 p.m. in the pavilion. We will meet with homeowner families individually at that time for questions or any additional comments you may have. Future office hours will be scheduled and announced at a later date. 2023 is going to be an exciting and important year for our community.
We take very seriously our role in contributing to it being a successful one.
Thanks for watching.